Yeah, I'm alive. What's that? Alright. Hey, can you hear me on the chat? On the through Twitch. Yeah. Hello, hello. Hello. Right, that's fine. Alright, that's fine. No worries. Cool, cool. I'm just going to mute this chat so I can hear you, but. Right, so we've got Matt versus Alan on stream now. I don't know how much commentating I'm going to be doing for this. Multitasking now. Bugger, I'll just go fire in and I'll do work later. Right, so fire up. So we've got Matt playing Seong Mi-na. I'm actually going to bring up the options to make that bigger, so I flash up cards, it'll be easier to see. So Matt's playing Seong Mi-na versus Raphael 2. We'll just keep the cards up set so everyone can see. So Alan's playing into a Forbidden Moon set to start the game. This is like the turn 2 kind of thing, so cool. So see, probably it'll run through the motions probably. Matt's still got 2 in hand. So he's been doing the first enhance and he's adding one of the foundations back to the hand. He does he get 6 or fewer? Yeah, he does, so he can still trigger that to gain the momentum. So if he wants, he can add a card from his hand to his momentum. I don't think he's electing to do it. If he has, not too sure. Either way though, it's debuilding the Seong Mi-na by a wee bit. Let's see what else he does next. So for the purpose of life, obviously Seong Mi-na is quite a high health character with 31 health. Raphael, one of the low new characters at 19 health. So in play right now, there's still a comma grant that it could be used as a block, grant an icebreaker. So he's given it speed. So he's flashing over, so he's showing insect puppeteer for something. So I think he might be flipping it potentially, but then again, see what he does with it. So yep. So the option for it is basically so he's flipped to review or to reveal the top card. More speed. So there goes confronting Jeddah for the extra damage. Now the 3 difference between the speeds. So at this point now, Forbidden Moon set's quite a heavy 6 high, 7 high now. Let's see what it does. Let's see if I can fire up one of the other chats. So obviously the damage went through. Just trying to get a couple of links set up. There we go. Cool. So Seong Mi-na starting with that, and he's hitting out with a revoke. Cool. So not a lot happening as the game's getting in. So Matt's electing to try and checks a 3 on the Ice Dragon, obviously into 5, so he's committing out for it. So he's passing the check, but at this point kind of leaving himself quite with a bit of building potential to still now do at this point. Hopefully the angle and everything's pretty good for everyone to see, and they can see all the stuff. So Ice Dragon has the stun 3, so he's hitting the stun 3. He's committing a couple of things, but then he's obviously now hitting off. I think he's going for the manifestation, but I think he's said there's any point, since at this point there's nothing to pseudo stun out at this point on the other side of the board. So something like that. Yeah. So the extra speed in the stun 3 was used in the first one. The Raphael blocked it and added back to hand to be replayed. In case anyone's wondering that's just joining. Taking the hit. So Alan's elected to take the hit. With one card in hand, potentially not holding a block, but he pretty much played out most of his hand in the last turn. So I think this is now Matt electing back to playing into the more kind of actually build a field. It's now just a matter of if it's a bit of a rough build, maybe hopefully hold some blocks. Raphael firing him up, have 7-hander, more than likely going to get a few attacks potentially at the next draw phase. Yep, passes over, that gets discarded. Goes to Alan. Alan's going to draw 6. So let's see what he does. The 3 in the corner were frozen, so he's not been able to ready them up. So, going to a hunt usually means there's an attack coming now. Yep, here we go. So he's winning for graceful roll on a 5. Checks a 3. Easy to pass for it though, because he's going to get a foundation, and he's going to be able to hunt for spiders down. Probably hit the Feifei. swap the speed hit. So maybe able to get away from this pretty well. So Graceful Rogue's got a really good commit 1 foundation to give stun to, which is going to be able to obviously commit Manifestation to then pseudo stun even more. So it's like a stun 3 kind of combo. So likes to keep it up though. So he's firing up Raphael now. So 10 guys, so getting at the speed. And more speed. For more speed. So that was probably, I'm trying to think what he would have done that off of the speed. Not too sure what he's done with the speed there, but he's got enough of it. I'm assuming it's just for every time Matt's passing. Yeah, I know something. So Matt's selected to pass to enhance, and then obviously you can do the extra speed on it. Obviously it's a twice per turn, but he's done it. Plenty of stuff to give speed anyway. But at this point, he's got a few things that. Jeez, oh. So does the build, brings them discards, gets some momentum. Right. So we're now back to Matt's turn. So it's now a matter of what he's going to be able to do. He's been getting kind of pretty harshly hit off this Raphael with having just essentially been debuilded quite early on with a Forbidden Moonset early in the game, which has kind of made him have to do a bit of a rebuild process at the same time as swinging. So coming in with a reduction. So reduction first. So he's going to obviously, hopefully this might be a bit of a swing turn. He's maybe got a few attacks. He's definitely got enough to pass some stuff with some good checks. I think it was Insect Puppeteer. It's once per turn adding a hand cannon in the pool. So while hand cannon is in the pool, cards can't leave your opponent's card pool or discard due to the effects, which is obviously going to help for against Seong Mi-na and her ability with the once per turn for the speed, and if it's blocked it adds it to hand. So that's pretty good. So I think that's potentially maybe made this a bit harder for Matt. He might not be able to rotate the attackers that he might have wanted to have done previously. Yep. So blocked and reversed. So So I think he's going to. Is he? What's he electing to do? See what he's electing to do to pay for it. Yep, so all done. So he's using the Daughter of the Bladed Rod, I think it's the card called. Yep. So reveals the top 3 cards, and then Alan's going to pick which one gets discarded. So he's electing to discard TK Mastery, and then Matt is now able to then stack these two in the order he wishes, putting the sense on bottom. Both 5 checks. So he's now doing the bit of the combo. So he's committing the Foundation to give it stun 2, but committing Manifestation, so that then the triggers for paying the cost. So he's now stunning, making them forced to commit another Foundation. Then he goes for the stun 2. I think this is potentially sealed Matt's turn on any kind of chance of pushing through for the attacks at this point. Every time Matt, for 2 times, if Matt says he passes, he's getting extra speed as well. So even though it is only like 3 low, I think, it's now just getting that wee bit faster, making it less likely of a block. And at this point as well, just even to chip through and then potentially get the gauge through. I'm pretty sure it's like gauge 1, gauge 3 on it, on the 5 damage. So potentially get it through. So, he flipped a Foundation, I think is what he just did there, for the first ability on Raphael too. No, there's the extra speed. So there's real options here now for Alan at this point. Alan could obviously still go for like confronting Jada for an extra 4 damage. It's not making it lethal at this exact point in stage, but definitely making it much easier for him to just go back on the backswing. Yep, so confront Jada there for the damage. Yep. So it's not lethal. He'll be left on like 1, I think. Left on 1, so, but even if he can get the extra damage on it and force it in, I think he's probably out for it in damage wise. So see what Matt's going to do it. Matt elects to take the 9 damage. Matt taking 9 damage goes down to 1, and then we'll get to continue his turn. Saying that though, Raphael's only at 14 health, so depending on what he gets, I mean now it's more extremely lucky checks. Obviously he gets the gauge to fire off, and he's bringing out Raphael 1 dot. So now he's going to have a few extra abilities, so I'm going to fire this here. So he gets Raphael 1 dot, so now he's going to have the response once per turn. After attack's blocked, ready 3 foundations that have not been readied this combat phase. And he's going to have an E, commit 1 foundation, change the zone of this attack to any other zone. So at this point now he's got options to changing the zones to make things easy to block on zone, along with then potentially committing like Manifestation and stuff to then do the pseudo stuns. So Matt plays Meteor Strike, needed a 6, checks a 5, commits Seong Mi-na. See what the guys are discussing. I think it's to do with the speed and damage. Yep. So he's obviously it's a reduction. Any other card in the pool's getting +2/+2. We'll see what they're about to do. At this point, Matt's best chance is obviously to now blow up one of the face downs, potentially bring something back, maybe even bring back, I'm not too sure what's in the discard pile, but maybe even bring back like the Feifei, even just for some speed reduction. So I'm wondering if he's about to do that at some point. I'm not too sure at this point if they're now discussing. Yep. So they were discussing. I think he was doing the Raphael enhance. So he's committing the foundation to change the zone. So at this point, we can only assume he's going to change it to whatever zone he's got a block for at this point. So Matt's going for the powerful, but he's already done the ability so that he can use assets to pay for the cost as well. So he's getting like 8 damage on this. So this is obviously a big all or nothing kind of thing. It very well could work. At the end of the day, it's still like 7 low, so he'll be blocking on a 7. If he checks a 5, he's quite safe. Checks confronting Jay that. Yeah, checks that 5, 6, 7 full block. I say would have obviously changed it to low. Sorry. That's pretty rough. That was a good ploy by Matt to blow up the Common Ground. Obviously, it's a really good defensive piece and could have maybe kept him in the game, but at this point as well, it's definitely a kind of all or nothing scenario. On note of doing recordings, well, whatever they're discussing, we're going to try and obviously update the audio and stuff like that as well when we're doing commentating. Because Alan's playing this time, I don't have a second commentator for this one, but we'll make it work. We'll try and just rotate people who can stream and commentate and stuff like that. I think it'll be between kind of like myself, maybe Murray, possibly Scott if we can get him on, and Alan. The other thing we're going to probably do is I'm going to attempt to we use Discord for this, so like what we're going to try and do is also get join the chat, mute myself in the chat so we can hear what they're saying as well, because sometimes obviously the game goes a bit delayed like the now, and obviously sometimes it can just be the two players that are discussing, or as what we've discovered there's a wee bit sometimes the audio breaks up, and sometimes they're like mid discussing something and then it breaks up and then they have to go back to the start again. So far, but I can see them moving about, so they're doing something. They must be discussing something. Or maybe doing the math. Just leave my phone out in case somebody needs to messages, but. Not entirely sure what they're looking for. Yeah, I'm not too sure what's happening here, folks, now, but a tiny bit of me thinks that they might have disconnected in the chat. For anyone just joining in now though, Matt went for a big Hail Mary swing with the Meteor Strike. Alan changed his zone as he's gauged into Raphael 1, blocked with the Syndicate Slice, is that one? Syndicate Target. So, yeah. So at this point now, Matt's at a point where he's just going to have to try and build foundations, I guess, and hope for the best on blocks, but this is probably this could be a really rough turn back. Alan was able to get a hand cannon out fairly fast in the game into Matt's turn, which kind of has locked him out. That turn was pretty drastic. So he's drawn back. So Alan's drawn back up to 7. We'll just see what he gets. Even if he gets 2 or 3 attacks, he's probably going to be able to push this through. Here we go. So this is probably going to signal it. So passes the Forbidden Moonset. He's obviously going to elect to add the face up. Is it Warrior or Lost Clan? He's probably going to have that added back to hand. think they might be doing the math. Oh, Alan flashing his hand. I'm assuming they've maybe just... Yep. So as far as I'm aware, yep. Yeah. So, round one, game one I should say, has went to Alan. That was pretty rough on Matt's front. Matt essentially did. Matt built like two foundations to start with and got hit really early with a Forbidden Moonset, and then was pretty much on the back burner the entire game there. That was pretty rough. Obviously, Seong Mi-na being like a 5-hander, you can sometimes hit those hands, I guess. But here we go. So they'll go back up. So let's see what it gets. So wondering what they're going to do here. Yeah, should just shuffle and redraw. Yeah. Yeah, Alan forgot his Forbidden Moonset in the card pool. So, at the end of the day, I think if somebody really wanted to call judge, I guess they could. But as far as I'm aware, these are nice, fun games. Not to be taken too seriously. This is just a matter of getting all the Scottish guys playing the game again, while we're all locked in our houses. So let's see. So Matt's going to go first. Hopefully with a better hand this time. As I said, it was just a rough start from definitely a rough start, but hopefully he gets something. So here we go. So I Daughter of Bladed Rod. Cool. Orphan's Alchemist. Mecha Ninja. Let's no, it fails. Rough. Kinda similar to what happened in the previous game. So Alan's mulligan, going for an over the top, confronting Jada. Prophecy, isn't it? Yeah, and then Insect Puppeteer. So a much more aggressive opening to having the foundations to be able to start swinging, especially if he's holding a Forbidden Moonset. This could be pretty similar to the first game. Let's see what it does. So, it's reviewing Palindrome. It's going to draw back up to 5. Ready up Seong Mi-na. There we go. So, boom. So he's going for the Ice Dragon to start with. Checks a 4, needed a 5. Now the real question is, that's pretty rough. Is he letting it fail? I feel as if I'm missing something here, but I don't think it. So they're now discussing, but I don't think they've realised that Ice Dragon's on a 5. So I think they've both totally. I think wait. Have they seen it? Maybe. Yep. There we go. So yeah. So obviously Ice Dragon on a 5. They must. I think everybody always forgets about the dreaded 4 diffs or 4 checks. So commits the Orphan Alchemist. Now he's passed it. So he's done the first enhance, which was the stun 3 on the dragon. Obviously now he's going to freeze them all. So pretty good turn so far. This could actually be pretty well for Matt. So I think he's just going to straight. So is it adding that? Possibly adding that. Cool. Okay. So Matt then elects to go for the Daughter of the Bladed Rod ability, so he reveals the 3 as I said earlier on in the game. Now it's just a matter of seeing which card Alan decides to discard. Yeah, discard the Meteor, don't give him attacks with Breaker. So then he's going to be able to stack. This isn't obviously any chance he was going to be able to draw any cards, but the option is definitely could be there. So we'll see what he does. So he's electing over for Raphael, so I think he's going to, what's he going to do? He's going to flip. Not too sure what he's doing. Yep, so he's going to flip a foundation. So if the next card you attempt to play this turn is a copy of a card in your card pool, it ignores progressive. So the chances are he's probably going to block, obviously maybe with a pea shooter. So it doesn't, so it ignores the progressive possibly. And then he's confronting Jada to then give it minus damage. Is he taking the damage? Yep, he's just taking the 3 now. Is he? Aye. Alright, Scott. Need to get you on commentary, Scott, soon. I don't do commentary. Everybody does commentary. I used to say the same. So he's firing in 10 hour splat. At this point, I think Matt's best option is just to be aggressive with attacks. It's been pretty rough going for him. But boom, obviously, I think he's insect puppeteered into the. Did he insect puppeteer that in? Okay. Oh, is he blocking with it? Alright, he's blocking with it. Then reversing. Okay. So this happened earlier in game 1. So he's passed, he's getting the speed. And then he's doing another speed. Yeah, pretty good. A lot of dice changing, but with like quite a lot of like hovering over a bunch of cards. I think for future games, what I'm going to do is, as I say, join the chat, mute myself in the chat so I can hear what they're also saying. Because sometimes a lot of the dice are changing, and something I've started noticing a lot of people doing is just using the same coloured dice, and we can't really tell if it's damage or speed sometimes. For the most part, it's speed. I've been able to notice just because it's Raphael and stuff like that, but we'll get on top of that for future games. So obviously Matt takes the damage. Can't do it when he's discarded it like that. Yeah, that's what I do, Scott. Yeah, speed blue, damage red. Yeah, I think that's, we'll probably maybe say that a couple of times just so people maybe start doing that. Jesus, right? So I mean, he's obviously going to hope to check a 6. Or sorry, it's not even a 6. It'll be not progressive, so a 5 checks it from Splat. Yeah, so Matt's going for a bit of an aggressive play at this point. He's been pseudo stunned out, and then just kind of like debuilt. Like he's going to get debuilt, I think, at some point. Might wreck his turn, but he's just not seeing the cards, which is pretty rough. It is. did he use that as a block? Nah. Yeah, no, he did that swing it and they took damage. Plays that, plays it the rest of his turn. So he's got his gauge out, so he's now got the 2 Raphaels. But okay, so definitely not seen enough attacks, so Alan's going for a bit of a build turn. But so builds 3, builds a rhythmic, builds a manifestation, and another insect puppeteer. Matt draws back up to 5. So depending on what Alan's now holding, this could be quite an aggressive turn for Matt. Maybe we'll actually force out game. So start with an Ice Dragon on a 5. Boom. Easy sorted. Yeah, that's true. Scotty can play the reversal game. That's very true. Yeah. So committing the manifestation. Pay for cost. So he's going with the Seong Mi-na enhance for the 3 speed. And then hit straight away with a confronting Jeddah for -3. And then hit with the stun 3. So he's adding a printed 4 damage attack from the discard to the card pool, and he already has foundation. Not too bad. So he's obviously adding the hand cannon. So now Matt's going for the Daughter of the Bladed Rod again. At this point, yeah, you get rid of that curse splat. And Matt's going to be able to stack. So at this point, more than likely Matt's going to stack the reduction maybe on top. Unless he's got another check to do. And then draw it. Potentially. Yeah, so Matt's put the 5 on top, so he's more than likely going to try and check in for another attack with the 5. And then know that he can potentially discard a card to pick up the reduction using the wave the what's it called again? Never a Day Without Training. So we'll see how this goes out. At this point it's pretty rough going for Alan. There we go. So losing life. Loses the 2. Oft. Rando's Spirit Gun, I think is what he's going for. Needing a 6, he knows he's going to check a 5. So, knows he's checking that 5 at some point. Yep. Or is it a 5 or a 4? Or 6? Oh, sorry, I thought that's a 6 check. That's my bad. I need to stop watching this on the time delay. So it passes. He knows there's now a reduction to go. But this could be pretty rough going. Not really too sure. Maybe do something. So obviously the idea of the random spirit guns obviously to do off of this, and Seong Mi-na doing the once per turn, pretty useful. That's pretty good. Probably worth the 2 check, I'd say. So he's flipped Never a Day Without Training, discard a card and drew a card. So that will have been the reduction he's drawn. So even at this point, it's just another attack. It's a 3 diff attack, passing on a 5, which is probably a lot safer to kind of push through the extra damage, depending on how Alan deals with this scenario right now. Yeah. So he's giving it the extra speed from Seong Mi-na. I think he just took the damage. Yep. Just takes the damage. Now all that said and done, yeah, I don't know if I would have played the reduction because it's pretty blockable. So he's built 1 extra. And did he cut out too much? Okay, so he's seen. So I think the damage. So yeah, makes sense. Put everything into momentum. Obviously plays like Scarlet Meteor and stuff like that, so makes sense to have outs for the options of powerfuls and stuff. So the bottom 3 in Alan's staging area were the frozen ones. See about the top. A couple of pointing at discard piles and stuff like that, so I'm not too sure what they're looking at. So Alan maybe is just building, yeah. So at this point Alan's just building 2 and passing. So we're pretty sure, so at this point, so he's holding like 1, does he wonder if the other one's an attack maybe? Okay, so he's reviewing the rhythmic, so we know he's holding a reduction still. It's just a matter of seeing, now it's just a matter of seeing if he gets the extra attacks out. And is able to put this away. As Scott said in the chat earlier, obviously Alan does play the reversal game and is holding definitely enough cards in hand. So whether or not he wants to maybe use the reversals at this late in the game, unless I think if he gets the one of the Amy attacks, he can get some stun out there. Maybe start a lockdown a turn. So at this point, yeah. So he's starting with a reduction. Here we go. Reversals and yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, even the friends and rivals. Yeah, totally. Stun him out. On top of even just playing I think the reversal is basically one of the good reversals he's got is the Amy one. That would give it himself some stun as well. So yeah, you could definitely lock this out with a good reversal. It's just a matter of whether it does it fast enough. So he's going for the Daughter of Bladed Rod yet again. So that's some options now. So 5 check, 5 check, 5 check, which is pretty much all that Matt will be looking for at this point. Don't think he's got much in the way of drawing, so yeah. Aye, you're right, Scott. It is completely clutch saved at most of his turns, throwing out that hand cannon. It's been very interesting. I didn't get a chance I played Alan earlier today, but he played a different deck that I'll not mention in case he's using. Oh my goodness. There's a noob Sabot in that deck. So there we go. So easy block off the reduction. He's got Noob now into the card pool. So at this point, yep. So he goes for the friends and rivals, I think. Is it? So it's just it's just committing. No, he's going to ready one of them up. But that's now wandering out. Wandering's out now. Here's the real question: does he flip the Noob, give it the extra damage, or is he going to potentially hold it for a future attack off of Matt? I'd probably hold it for the future attack. Don't think at this point he needs to kind of push the damage through in the same kind of manner. Just needs to lock out this turn. So he's checking in for some speed. Oh, right. Commit the foundation with the Raphael. Probably change zone. So Matt used Orphan Alchemist to flip that to reveal, which is kinda. Yeah, that's it, Scott. I think he'll keep it for defences. Kind of wondering why they flipped the foundation to reveal when he knows it's a 5. Unless obviously it'll just be to pass so he's not passing the enhance for the extra speed. But like, I don't see him blocking this. I mean, it's 5 damage, it's 5 damage, but yeah, takes the damage. So I would have kept the Orphan. I would have passed it. Would have done the speed, especially if he knew he wasn't blocking. I'd have kept the Orphan Alchemist, even if it was going to get stunned out at some point. There was an option he could have kept it up. So he checks one of the 5s away. He's going to check away the other 5. Now he's back to not knowing what he's got. But oh my god, he just didn't have another attack. Oh, that's rough. That is rough. Jeez. Oh man. So commits Seong Mi-na to pass, brings them down. Reduction will get discarded. That was rough. So Wonder Pirate, and Alan's turn's going to ready up. He's going to ready up a face down as well with it. So he's still definitely got perfect board presence. But damn, that was a pretty harsh turn. So Alan's drawn up. At this point, Alan's now just building up a bit of a field. He's got enough. He's got definitely plenty of things that like can combo off of each other, which is quite nice. But at 2 life, it's now just a matter if he can put through the damage. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. Yeah, Matt's on 21. Matt's on 21 vitality. So at this point, it's just a matter of seeing how. Oh. So there was definitely an Amy attack. I think that was. Yep, going for the graceful rogue. So graceful rogue, he's probably going to do committing a manifestation to make him commit one thing. Then he's going to do the stun 2. That's pretty much seems to be the going forward strategy he's been using. And obviously his friends and rivals as well. And he's done his Wandering Pirate out. So Wandering Pirate is now officially off. I think that's both times triggered. So now it's just a matter of how rough does this stun happen. Obviously, as I say, he can definitely stun another 3 things with Matt's sense of morals being the thing to trigger to. So he's dotted the blade and rod. So at this point, Alan's going to pick the 6 check for sure, like forcing him to keep a 1 check in. Because now it forces Matt to either, if Matt's smart, he should put that on top, and then he should have flipped and discarded and drew the meteor, but he's elected to put the 5 check on top. Unless he's got, I mean, the Mecha Ninja maybe, for just a random check, but I doubt why, obviously it wouldn't trigger for it. Alright. So, I think so is he going? Yep, so he committed the manifestation, then he done the stun, as far as I know, or they just, yeah. Pretty rough going for Matt. At this point, Matt can definitely, I guess Matt can use that check just to pass the sense of morals. He should be pretty safe for it, but just wait to see if he's actually going to do it, because he'll definitely need to start getting some stuff up. He's been stunned out so heavily that at this point he definitely needs foundations up. Yep, so he's done the sense of morals and he's readying up the Daughter of the Bladed Rod. Now it's got another ability on it, which I'm wondering, is Deadlock. Can he trigger that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? No, he can't trigger it, so better than nothing, obviously. See now with it being low, you might have to hold off, but then at the same time as well, he might be able to take this hit. It depends on what else Alan plays at this point. Obviously, if he was to pick up the Scarlet Meteor that's on top of his deck, that's only a 1 high block, which could definitely signal for Alan just to play the off, like the low blocks in hand or whatever. Yeah, so he took the damage, and now he's got Raptor Rush, so this is one of Raphael's from the DLC packs. So if this attack is not blocked, change the zone of the next attack to any other zone and reduce the speed of your opponent's next attack to 0. Response: after you block with this card, you may attempt to play it as a reversal after the blocked attack resolves, which is quite cool. I quite like that, it's pretty solid. But at this point, Matt will definitely want a better block. So he Insect Puppeteered, adding that card to pull, and he's readying up. That's Matt. So Matt's, I'm assuming he did that off of the Mecha Ninja, just to waste a check. So I'm assuming he's holding something good at this point. I'm now wondering what he's holding, or if he just thinks I'm maybe thinking he's possibly just holding an attack and hoping he can weather the storm on this one. Yeah, you're right, Scott. Alan is definitely going for game here, I think. He's at a point now where I think he can definitely, I think it was really a matter of if he could get that 1 card out of Matt's hand, he could definitely probably just force through the damage. So we'll see what he does. Because he's still got like Confronting Jeddah up, so he can definitely put some speed quite heavily up, then drop a big heavy damage hit. But especially with the speed of that, it's like 4, it could get higher, but let's see. Here we go. So yeah, he was holding like an attack. A nice 1 block, nice one high, so blocked and then off. Alan is, going for broke here. Checks a 3, but he's got enough to pass it. Being that on an 8. So so for those that are watching don't know, so This attack gets +1 to its keyword ratings for each charge attack in the card pool, and it's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and that's not. So it's going to get +3 to the keyword ratings, which means it's going to go to like powerful 5. Pretty sure Alan's got like 2 momentum in there. I'm pretty sure it's only 2. Which pretty much. Oh wait, adds a hand cannon into the play as well to ready it. Let's get in there. Then he flips a foundation for that one there. There we go. Oh. Yep, for the 1-1. So at this point, Alan can definitely do the powerful for game. Just waiting to see if that's what he's going to do. I don't think there's much else he can do. I'll just fire this up. Does it like how many allies? That ally? Nah, it's just they two. I mean, he's got plenty of momentum actually. Obviously, if he does the bottom enhance as well, which I think that's what they're looking to. He's going to show that the damage is there. That's more than likely. So he's going for the speed. I think they're running through the motions, but at this point, I think Alan's pretty much sealed the win here. Matt's not getting it in hand, so I'm not entirely sure. I think they're just running through the motions. Yeah, you're right, Scott. It's definitely a game. I think they're just running through the motions now. Doing the draw. Okay. Yeah, running through the motions of a game that should be over when they should be given it. Like even without the confront Jada, like he's got plenty of momentum. He's got the access to 3 cards for that powerful. It's +1, yeah, +1 to the keyword. So the powerfuls, yeah, I think that's I'm doing it now. They two. Hell, I would have just done all 3 that just to. So obviously he went with the EX route. Just went with the EX route. And then he's going to do then the damage. But with somebody with no hand, a zero mid attack was still going to do that. Alan wins 2-0.